we've got half the roof done. I can't believe it, half the roof done, and we need to do half more, a little bit more prep. But before we get to all that, a little bit of backstory. Fed up with my good friend H having all the fun restoring his circa 1970 Jag XJ6. Here's the Jag, here's the engine and gearbox, here's the rear subframe and suspension, and here's H's Jag hands. I wanted to grab me some of that sweet, sweet classic car action. Having just acquired Hetty, my 1990 VW camper, I thought it would be wise to get something similar and share spares, etc. So off to somewhere near Bristol to view a van via the Cheddar Gorge, but the van was no good, hence no pictures. But there was a second van to view, and as we drove from Bristol to somewhere deep in the Epping Forest, I was desperately keeping my fingers crossed that this would be the one. When we arrived, the van was already up on a 4-post lift, and Joe, the seller, invited me to test any part of the underside and offered me a hammer and a screwdriver. He'd done all the major welding, and indeed the van was as solid in all the usual problem areas. In fact, it ran, drove and had an MOT. Sold. We did the finance dance and agreed a price, and Vinnie became mine. Getting Vinnie home, however, proved a problem, as he seemed to have an issue with one of the cylinders, cylinder 4, not firing, or not firing all the time. Anyway, 5 breakdowns later, one of which was mine, we finally made it. With the aid of the AA, Vinnie was home. After some initial cleaning and further inspection, I had a pretty good idea of the order of business. Broadly speaking, these were engine and minor issues, get him running sweet as, change the wheels and lower, bodywork and respray, interior and electrics. The engine was a headache. Despite diagnosing cylinder 4 as a firing issue, I couldn't reproduce the issue, despite new leads, swapping over spark plugs, changing out injectors, and fiddling with the engine in all sorts of ways. And to this day, I'm still not sure if it is fixed or just one pothole away from whatever was causing the misfire from coming back. We also remade some wires and connectors to the coil and fuel pump, replaced rocker covers and gaskets as these were causing a major oil leak, and cleaned the engine and the engine bay thoroughly. There was then a bit of a pause for winter and for my wheels to get delivered, which finally arrived in March 2024 thanks to JWB Wheels, which allowed me to order the correct spacers and lengthen the studs all round and add studs to the front hubs. This then allowed me to check the wheel arch gap and decide on the lowering kit, which I finally settled on the Brickworks 70mm lowering kit, which was ordered and fitted, and then we moved on to bodywork. And now you're all caught up to date. And that is the story of how I acquired Vinnie the van. There's still much more to be written about Vinnie. There's still much more to be shot, filmed and done with him. I need you to tell you a bit more of the backstory of what Vinnie the van is going to be for Rebel Zombie and exactly what Rebel Zombie is. But I'm hoping to do that in the next video, where you'll find out our first project. So stick around, like, subscribe, do all that nonsense with the various things, clickety-click, likey-like, subscribey, and we'll see you in the next video. And thank you for watching.